Our interview this week is a feature. Nigeria-Burundi relations are said to be at an all-time high after Ambassador Elijah Onyeagba resumed at the embassy there. A bi-national commission has been established between the two countries. Trade and educational investments are being made, and Burundi has become one of the African countries Nigerians can visit using visa on arrival. I'm not his mouthpiece, but I'll allow Ambassador Onyeagba talk about the diplomatic progress between Nigeria and Burundi. I have joining me now Nigeria's ambassador to Burundi, Ambassador Elijah Onyeagba. Ambassador, thank you for joining me this wonderful day.
Thank you so very much, Amarachi. It's my pleasure joining you.
And I remember it was about a year ago that we spoke. You were just freshly appointed ambassador to Burundi, your first ambassadorial appointment. But you've had a long history of working with not just the Nigerian government, but also in private business, and you know, you've had enough experience there. Now that you've done 1 year in, what are the lessons you're learning from this time that you've been in office?
Thank you very much, Amarachi. This is exactly 1 year and 1 week that I have been in Burundi. And it's been a very challenging but yet interesting 1 year. We have done quite a lot as a representative of Mr. President. First, I must not fail to thank him for the opportunity given to me as a young person to come and represent him in this East African nation. It's been a whole lot of very interesting situation here in Burundi. I arrived April last year, April 29th, and then you know, after that, about 3 weeks, May 21st, 2021, I submitted my letter of credence to President Ndayishimiye, who received me, and we started work. In the last 1 year, we have inaugurated the Nigeria-Burundi Joint Commission, the maiden edition, and the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Ambassador Zuberi Dada, was here in person, alongside with representatives from the Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Education, the Technical Aid Corps. A whole technical team was here present in Bujumbura for us to inaugurate the Joint Commission. And in that same event, we went ahead to sign 2 bilateral agreements. One was on political consultation and the other one was on education cooperation. As I speak to you now, Amarachi, we have commenced the implementation of the education bilateral agreements. Earlier on this year, we had lecturers from University of Uyo come on exchange program with the University of Burundi here. A month ago, we had the Vice Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University also coming here in Bujumbura to also execute a memorandum of understanding with the University of Burundi on education and research cooperation. And I'm expecting that we're going to begin to have exchange of students, exchange of research, and of course, you know, exchange of other ideas as well as capacity building for both schools. I also have the International University of Leadership here come to the embassy and of course seeking a similar partnership with tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Also in the last 1 year, we did play host to members, directing staff and participants in course 43 from the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS. They were here with the government of Burundi discussing policy issues, and of course, they submitted their report to the president on the topic, getting things done, strategies for implementation. Burundi was one of the location for the study tour. So it's been quite interesting. You know, we were here, and part of the things we do is also to find a way to improve the visibility for Nigeria here in Burundi. I figured that the embassy figured that the country loves sports, they love athletics. So, you know, we tried to get involved. The embassy worked with other corporate organizations to sponsor the maiden edition of Run Buja. It's a half marathon event, which had over 5,000 people participating in the event last year, male category and the female category. And it became a very, good platform to ensure that the name of Nigerians actually, or the name of Nigeria as a country, rings bell in the heart and minds of Burundians. And we've also worked with the government of Burundi to ensure that Nigeria is included in the list of countries that can come now to Burundi and have their visa issued on arrival.
I know you're reeling out your achievements at this point. I'm pretty excited about them, that you've done so much within 1 year. I want to take you back to the meetings that you've been having. And I know that the concentration has been on attracting investment into Burundi. But what about for Nigerians who live in Burundi? What has been your relationship with them like, and what have you been doing to improve on that?
Oh, thank you very much. One of the things we did already before I came in, my predecessor actually inaugurated the Nigerian community here, and then of course set them up as an association. The moment I came in, I found out that their tenure was expired. So we tried to conduct new election for new executive. And at the moment, we have a very well-organized Nigerian community here in Burundi. As a matter of fact, what we also try to do, because more and more Nigerians are visiting Burundi, some for work with the United Nations, with a couple of companies here, and some are also coming in for investment purposes. So just for us to have an eye over these consular issues, we have an understanding with the Burundian government that as soon as Nigerians come in, they report to the embassy, we register them alongside with our consular desk and the Nigeria community executives. We try to have visitation, understand why they are here, and have an eye over what they are doing. I can tell you that at the moment, we haven't even received any issue of Nigerians having issues, with the Burundian authority. This is probably one of the embassies or one of the countries where Nigerians are not in prison. The ones here are actually working very hard, and we have some sort of good oversight over what Nigerians are doing. Not just that, what we also try to do is to ensure that Burundians also have visibility over what Nigeria is doing as well. Burundi is not as wealthy as Nigeria. Population here is about 12 million to be compared to what we have in Nigeria. But be that as it may, we are trying to give visibility to Nigeria as well, because this country loves entertainment as well. You move around everywhere. Once they say this is a Nigerian, they know our movies, they know our musicians and all of that. So we are trying to have that smooth handshake. And of course, in diplomacy, you either take business from your home country to your host country and vice versa. So we've tried to have a very good handshake in that regard as an embassy, Amarachi.
You were saying something about visa on arrival. How were you able to work that out? Because of course, visa on arrival doesn't really work in so many countries in Africa. Major problem with moving around on the continent, especially is, the issue of visas. And sometimes visa on arrival sometimes doesn't really mean visa on arrival. You might get there and then find out there are more requirements that you need to fulfill in order to have your visa.
Yes, what we tried to do was to engage with government. First, I must tell you that the relationship between Nigeria and Burundi is at its all-time high as we speak. They do have a lot of respect for Nigeria as a country. Of course, Nigeria being the giant of Africa, the largest economy in Africa, the highest GDP and so on. So we've sat down because what Nigeria did was to upgrade this embassy from a charge d'affaires level to full ambassadorial level. That's what the president did. And the Burundi government received me with they were very excited about that opportunity, to have this embassy operate at full ambassadorial level. So they were willing for us to engage. I made it very clear to the government that it's important that we have ease of entrance. Now there are logistics issues in terms of movement because there's no direct flight from Nigeria to Burundi at the moment. So we just looked at these issues and felt that having anybody travel from Lagos or from Enugu, or from Port Harcourt, or from Abuja straight to Burundi without having visa hassle. So we took up that responsibility, and the government agreed. And of course, you know that Burundi has been through a lot of issues in the past. And what they basically did was to say, you know what, Africans, let's even open this opportunity for Africans. They can actually come in here, and then we issue them visa on arrival. Of course, like I told you, we've undertaken to receive Nigerians as they come in and try to also have some level of oversight over what they are doing. At the moment, we are even we're taking it further to the next level to sign an agreement with them, another bilateral agreement, which I'm sure we will sign another 90 days or thereabouts, where we will even have visa waiver for officials that have diplomatic passports and official passports. This is going to be one of the milestones again that we will try to achieve in the next 90 days or thereabouts. We are also working on other bilateral agreements like the technical manpower assistance. We are also trying to work on economic trade and tourism agreements. And
right.
Of course, Burundi is a very interesting tourist destination. And we're trying to give visibility to what is going on at this point in time here. And we've invited, companies like Goge Africa to come and film the country. And we are discussing with the government on how they will come in and do that. Of course, they have over 40 million viewers of across Africa. So this is one. We also have another company called Digitors. It's also a Nigerian company that does a lot in terms of travel. So they've also been here, registered their interest, and we are just working. What I can tell you is that we are on cruise control here in Bujumbura, right. And I'm sure we will, the next couple of years, quite a lot will be achieved, added to what we have done so far.
Ambassador, I know that the war in Ukraine has affected most parts of the world, and the analysts have predicted the impact on Africa with food shortages and fuel shortages and so on. How is Burundi being impacted by the war in Ukraine?
Oh, okay. Interesting. The war in Ukraine, the Russia-Ukraine crisis has basically been a major challenge to quite a lot of African countries. A lot of African countries import wheat, I think, and of course, crude oil from Russia. Basically what has happened is that we've witnessed about 25% increase here in the price of petroleum products. And I'm sure that's also as a result of this issue, because basically, since the Russians have been under sanctions, it means that their oil is not sold in the markets. What that means is that the demand for crude oil will obviously go above supply. And simple economics means that price will go up. So the end product is actually 25% increase. The price of petroleum products, fuel, for example, moved from 2,450 Burundian francs to about 3,200 Burundian franc, equivalent of about 600 naira in Nigeria or thereabouts. So I haven't seen the latest inflation figures here. Last month, in March here in Burundi, was about 12.8% or thereabout. But I'm sure by the time they release the April figures, which I'm sure will come out like next week or thereabouts, I'm sure the impact of that will be felt, because it's a ratchet effect. Once the price of petroleum products goes up, it also has effects in other areas. On the food side, you would expect that if Burundi actually imports the likes of wheat from either Ukraine or Russia, what you're going to find is that, of course, bread and all of these things, the prices will go up. But Burundi, interestingly, is one of the countries in the world or in Africa that is food secure. They do a lot in agriculture. Agriculture is, everybody actually is the mainstay. Agriculture is the mainstay of the economy here. So the effects of that on food, we haven't seen yet. But we know that there will be a ripple effect from petroleum products. Once that cost is there, it will obviously be transferred to goods and services as well. We'll wait to see what the numbers are. But of course, a direct implication of that is a 25% increase in the price of petroleum products here in Bujumbura. So, right. I mean, we have to live with these challenges.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ambassador Onyeagba. We never have enough time to have these conversations, do we? But I appreciate you joining me on the program today. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. God bless.